The rain began before I reached the house. Cold drops hit the windshield as I parked across the street and turned off the engine. The small building stood alone at the end of the block, its porch light flickering like it was tired of staying alive. My phone buzzed once. A message from my handler. Target inside. Witness from last night's shooting. No mistakes. I stared at the words for a long moment. I had done many jobs like this. Too many to count. Names, faces, places, they all blurred together after a while. That was the only way to survive this life. You stop thinking. You stop feeling. You just finish the job. I checked the pistol under my jacket. Clean. Loaded. Ready. Across the street, the house looked quiet. The windows were dark except for one dim light in the kitchen. A witness. That meant someone had seen something they should not have. And people like me were sent to make sure they never spoke. I stepped out of the car and walked through the rain. My boots splashed softly against the wet pavement. Every movement felt normal. Automatic. My body knew the routine better than my mind. Approach. Observe. Enter. Finish. Leave. The gate creaked when I pushed it open. I froze for a moment, listening. Nothing. Just rain hitting the roof. I reached the front door and knocked once. No answer. I knocked again. Slow footsteps came from inside. A woman's voice called out. Who is it? My heart stayed calm. Gas company, I said. A pause. Then the lock clicked. The door opened slowly. And the moment I saw her face, my world shattered. The woman standing in front of me was older now. Her hair had turned grey. Lines marked her face like small roads carved by time. But I knew those eyes. I would know them anywhere. My breath stopped. Auntie Lila? The words slipped out before I could stop them. Her eyes widened. For a second she looked confused. Then recognition struck her like lightning. Oh, my goodness. Her hand rose slowly to her mouth. Is it really you? My chest felt tight. Memories rushed back so fast they hurt. The small kitchen. The smell of warm bread. The sound of laughter. A boy sitting at a wooden table while a kind woman placed food in front of him. That boy had been me. Before the streets. Before the gangs. Before I became a weapon. Ari, she whispered. I had not heard that name in years. To the world now, I had another name. A colder one. But Ari was the boy she once knew. The boy she raised when I had nowhere else to go. Rain dripped from my jacket as I stood frozen on the porch. Behind me, my car waited. In my pocket, my phone buzzed again. Probably my handler checking progress. I ignored it. You're alive, she said softly. Her voice trembled. I prayed you were. My throat felt dry. You shouldn't be here, I said. Her smile faded. Why? I looked past her into the small house. The place looked simple. Clean. Safe. Too safe for the life I carried with me. I came for the witness, I said quietly. Her eyes filled with fear. I am the witness. The rain grew heavier. And suddenly I realized something terrible. The job I had been sent to finish was her. Neither of us moved. The rain drummed on the roof like a warning. You should leave, she said gently. Before someone sees you. Her kindness made the pain worse. Do you know what you witnessed last night? I asked. She nodded slowly. I saw a man get shot near the bus stop. My stomach tightened. That had been our work. A rival courier who refused to pay. Wrong place. Wrong time. I called the police, she continued. I could not pretend I saw nothing. Of course she couldn't. Auntie Lila had always been that way. Honest. Brave. Stubborn. The kind of person the world chews up. You shouldn't have done that, I whispered. Her eyes searched my face. Ari, what happened to you? I looked away. Life happened. Silence fell between us. Then she stepped aside. Come in. You're soaked. For a moment I almost refused. But the rain pushed me forward. I stepped inside. The warmth of the house wrapped around me. The smell of soup drifted from the kitchen. It smelled exactly like the past. My chest tightened again. You still cook the same, I said. She smiled faintly. You still speak like a boy who forgot to eat. I sat at the small table. The same kind of table where she once helped me with homework. Back when I believed life could be normal. What will you do now? She asked quietly. I looked at my hands. Hands that had ended many lives. I was sent to silence the witness. She did not panic. She only studied me carefully. And will you? I met her eyes. For the first time in years, I did not know the answer. My phone buzzed again. This time I checked it. Why is the job not finished? Another message came seconds later. Report now. I typed quickly. Target not alone. Waiting. It was a lie. But it bought time. Auntie Lila placed a bowl of soup in front of me. Steam rose slowly. Eat, she said. I'm not hungry. You were always hungry. I almost laughed. Almost. I can't stay, I said. If they think something is wrong, they will send someone else. Someone worse. Yes. She sat across from me. Ari, you don't have to do this life. I shook my head. It's not that simple. When has anything good been simple? Her words hit harder than any punch. I stared at the soup. Why did you take me in back then? I asked. You barely knew me. Her answer came without hesitation. Because a child was hungry. Simple. Kind. That was who she was. My phone buzzed again. This time the message was different. Back up on the way. 10 minutes. Cold fear slid down my spine. They did not trust delays. If backup arrived, they would kill her. And maybe me too. I stood quickly. You need to leave. What? Right now. She frowned. I'm not running from the truth. You're not running from the truth, I said. You're running from killers. She hesitated only a moment. Then she stood. You always were dramatic, she said. But I saw the fear in her eyes. Take your coat, I said. And your phone. She moved quickly. Years of caring for others had made her practical. What about you? She asked. I'll slow them down. Her voice grew firm. You are coming with me. I shook my head. They will hunt me anyway. Then we run together. The idea felt impossible. Hitmen did not run. They disappeared. But something in her voice reminded me of the past. The boy I used to be. A car engine roared outside. Too soon. I moved to the window. Black sedan. 2 men stepped out. Not backup. Enforcers. That meant the boss already suspected something. They're here, I said. She grabbed my arm. Ari. Her eyes were filled with fear. But also faith. The kind of faith I did not deserve. "Back door," I said. We moved quickly through the kitchen. The door opened to a small yard. Rain poured harder now. Perfect cover. We ran through the gate and into the alley. Behind us, the front door of the house burst open. Voices shouted. "They're running!" Footsteps splashed behind us. I grabbed her hand. "Faster!" She ran with surprising strength. Years of caring for others had made her tough. But the men behind us were faster. Gunshots cracked through the rain. Bullets struck the wall beside us. We turned a corner. My car waited at the end of the alley. "Get in!" I shouted. She slid into the passenger seat. I started the engine just as the men appeared behind us. One raised a gun. The windshield exploded with a crack. But the car was already moving. We drove through the rain without speaking. The city lights blurred past us. My hands gripped the steering wheel tightly. "You were going to kill me," she said softly. The words hurt because they were true. "Yes. But you didn't." "No." She studied me quietly. "The boy I raised is still in there." I did not answer. My phone buzzed again. I ignored it. "They will not stop chasing you," she said. "I know." "Who are they?" "People who do not forgive failure." The road ahead split into two highways. One led toward the city center. The other led toward the mountains. I turned toward the mountains. She noticed. Running far away. As far as possible. Rain pounded harder. For the first time in years, I felt something strange. Hope. Then headlights appeared behind us. Two cars. Black. Fast. "They found us," I said. Her voice stayed calm. "What do we do?" I pressed the accelerator. "We survive." The road twisted through dark hills. The cars behind us stayed close. Too close. Gunfire cracked again. Bullets struck the back of the car. "Hold on!" I shouted. I swerved sharply around a curve. One of the pursuing cars nearly slid off the road. But the other kept coming. My phone rang. "The boss." I answered on speaker. His voice was cold. "You disappoint me." "I couldn't do it," I said. "I see that." Silence filled the car. "You forget something," he continued. "What?" "I trained you." My stomach dropped. He knew every trick I knew. "You cannot hide forever?" "Maybe not," I said. "But tonight I can run." He chuckled softly. "You were always sentimental." The line went dead. Behind us, the chasing car accelerated again. One of the men leaned out the window with a rifle. Auntie Lila gripped the door. "Ari. Trust me." The road ahead curved sharply. I slammed the brakes and turned suddenly onto a narrow dirt road. The pursuing car flew past the turn. By the time they realized their mistake, we were gone. We stopped deep in the mountains. The rain had finally slowed. The engine ticked quietly as it cooled. Neither of us spoke for a long time. Finally she said, "You saved me. I owed you." She shook her head. "You never owed me anything." I looked at the dark forest. "I became a monster. You became lost." Her words were gentle but firm. "There is a difference." I rubbed my face. "They will keep coming. Then we keep moving." I glanced at her. "You're not afraid." "Of course I am." She smiled sadly. "But I'm more afraid of losing you again." My chest tightened. I don't deserve that. Maybe not, she said. But life sometimes gives second chances anyway. For the first time in years, I believed her. Morning came slowly. Fog covered the mountains. We drove again before sunrise. The radio reported a shooting in the city. My old world was already moving on. But my boss would not. He hated unfinished business. Auntie Lila watched the road quietly. What will you do now? She asked. I don't know. You could start over. I laughed softly. Men like me don't get new lives. She turned toward me. The boy I raised deserves one. Her faith felt heavy, but also warm. Maybe, I said slowly. Maybe I can try. The road stretched ahead. For the first time, it did not feel like a path toward violence. It felt like escape. Weeks passed. We kept moving from town to town. My boss searched for us. But the world was big. And I knew how to disappear. One evening we stopped at a small roadside diner. Auntie Lila ordered soup. Of course. I smiled. You still cook better, I said. She laughed softly. And you still complain. For a moment life felt normal. Peaceful. Something I had never known before. Outside, the sun began to set. I realized something important then. The job that night had been meant to end a life. Instead, it gave mine back. And for the first time since I was a boy, I was no longer running from who I was. I was finally running toward who I could become.